Good morning. I'm the Reverend Steve Page from St. Patrick's Anglican Church, and you're listening to the Daily Devotional Moment, sponsored by the Hudson Bay Ministerial. This month, I'm drawing our images of Christian faith and spirituality from sports. Hockey today. Now, last time we heard about Mario Lemieux returning from injury during the 1992 playoffs. Today, let's go back a little farther to the 1975 Stanley Cup Finals. The teams that year were the Philadelphia Flyers and the Buffalo Sabres. I know there's no way those teams could meet in the finals in the current system, but they did meet in 1975. And Game 3 that year was at Memorial Stadium in Buffalo. But that late May day in 1975, it was a hot and humid one in Buffalo, and the rink did not have air conditioning. So as the game progressed, the ice got slower and slower. Puddles began to appear in places on the ice, and by the third period, the ice was hidden under a thick, waist-deep layer of fog. Now, fans in the stands, they couldn't tell what was going on. They could only see a bunch of players kind of from the tummy up. And the refs, down right on the ice, they had trouble seeing the play too. In fact, nearly a dozen times, they stopped play to allow rink operators to try and circulate the air and increase visibility. The players even took to skating laps during the breaks, trying to stir up the air and the fog. And after 3 periods of this very unusual cup game, the score was tied 4-4, and that meant overtime and even more skating in the fog. Now, nearly to the end of overtime, the Sabres star Gilbert Perreault, he dumped the puck into the Flyers' zone, and he went off for a line change. But the puck, it took a funny bounce off the boards, and it came out right to Rene Roberts of the Sabres. He fired a shot toward the net. Now, poor Bernie Parent, he was in net for the Flyers, and in the fog he could barely see the players. Never mind the puck. He's probably still looking for it. Well, the puck wound up in the net for the winning goal. And while Gilbert Perreault got the assist, really the fog should have had one. The Flyers goalie, he never had a chance because the thick mist and fog and haze obscured the puck. Do you feel like Bernie Parent sometimes when it comes to the Christian faith or to the Bible? Do you feel lost in a fog and unable to make head nor tails of what goes on in a church service? When to sit, when to stand? Now everyone is singing something by heart. Where are we? Or maybe the very foreign-sounding names in the Bible put you off. From Nebuchadnezzar to the Moabites, the strange biblical people and places can be off-putting. Or the language of the Bible, which can seem very poetic and beautiful, it may remind you more of studying Shakespeare in high school and fail to sink in and touch your life. And if that's the case for you, I have good news. There are things you can do to cut through the fog. Some might take a little work, like the players skating around and around to stir up the humid fog that day. For example, if a church service seems baffling and confusing, it will become less so just by repetition. I remember that when I first started attending an Anglican church about a decade ago, I really didn't feel comfortable for a few months, until I could figure out what page we were on in our service book, until I could learn the sung bits that everyone had memorized and so they never gave you the words. Asking a friend helps, but it does take some work, and repetition helps. Other fog-clearing steps you could take are maybe a little easier. If you like the Bible, if you feel like the Bible is lost in a fog, just getting a different translation might help. We English speakers are blessed to have dozens of translations to choose from, and some, like the Good News Bible, or the Message, or the Contemporary English Version, they might really open your eyes in new ways to surprising things that the Bible has to say. And best of all, pray that God will help you out too. I think of Ephesians 1 verse 17 where Paul prays, "I keep asking that God may give you the spirit of wisdom and revelation so that you may know him better." That's why I want to help clear your fog, so that you may grow closer to God and stronger in your faith. For St. Patrick's Church, I'm Steve Page.